exercise to it. If you have a night where you go out and drink a beer and have some dessert, you will wake up in the morning and not be happy. I guarantee you. Right now, most of us in here are used to feeling pretty damn grungy. How many? How many people feel grungy every day? Okay. Quite a few. Yeah. Need my caffeine to get going. Can't get going without it. I had a woman come in the office today for back pain, and I was examining her, and I said, I can't find your pain. Where's your pain? She goes, well, it's kind of over here, but I took a lot of drugs this morning because I take drugs every day. And I said, I can't help you. I said, you go home, you come in first thing tomorrow morning, no drugs. What'd she tell me? Can't do it. I need to take my drugs as soon as I wake up. Well, food's the same thing. Caffeine's the same thing. They're all addictive things. One thing I do in my practice with people on drugs, I take them off. How do they feel afterwards? 1,000% better. There's a lot of things in our traditional medical model, which I call the religion of medicine. I'm a heretic. I know that. I don't fit into that mold, and I don't want to fit into that mold because it doesn't do much for people. People like us who are fairly healthy just want to feel better. We want our bones to live a long time without fracture. We want to wake up in the morning with spring in our step. You know, we want to be trimmer. We want to just feel damn good. And we can do it. It just takes a little focus and not much insulin. So, adult onset diabetes, I've been talking about this all night. Type 2, it's called non-insulin dependent. Accounts for nearly 90% of all cases of diabetes. So the people that have the type 1, their pancreas has been burned out for one reason or another, autoimmune disease, illness, something like that. They don't produce insulin, so they have to take insulin. It's not good for them, but I don't know another way. We can help them get their insulin level way down with proper nutrition, because if you ain't putting it in, you don't need the insulin to bring it down, you know, with the sugars. So there's hope for everybody with diabetes. Researchers estimate that 88 to 97% of type 2 diabetes cases diagnosed in overweight people direct result of obesity, meaning direct result of high insulin, which we're creating ourselves. Excess weight, established risk factor for high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, adult onset, high blood cholesterol level, coronary heart disease, and gallbladder disease. Anyone here ever have a gallbladder attack? I haven't, but people that have them do not like them. What's it about? Insulin. So these are the kind of things people get when they're eating sugar. High blood pressure, diabetes, certain cancers, breast and colon. Metabolic syndrome, anyone know what that is, syndrome X? It's eating sugar, basically. It causes high blood pressure eventually, heart disease, diabetes. It's something that's very rampant in the young people today. And for us, forget it, we're all there. Osteoarthritis, that's pretty amazing, huh? High cholesterol, chronic inflammation, neural degeneration and cognitive decline. Who wants that? Anyone ever read The Sugar Blues? No. I read that in Berkeley about 40 years ago. And I can tell you, I didn't go near sugar for at least 10 minutes after I read that book. No, it did hit me in a hard spot, and I was like, okay, I'm not doing that ever again. And then back to my addiction level. See, the whole key to this thing really is very simple. If you're eating frequently, nuts, avocados, things like that, protein, you're not going to need to be addicted. You won't be addicted to food anymore. Okay? It's not going to taste as great, but who cares? Because you're getting so many benefits from it, and you're not going to be craving. All right, a lot of dollars spent because of obesity. That was back in '95. What do you think that 99 billion is today? I don't know the number, but it's got to be astronomical in the last 15 years. So why is there an obesity epidemic? That's a great question. Anyone know the answer? Availability. You got it, brother. Nature's tranquilizer, that's it too. You're right. I want you to get this. This is the most important information you're going to ever find. Okay? So, the Japanese eat very little fat, suffer fewer heart attacks than Americans. So is fat okay? Guess so, huh? Americans eat a lot of fat and suffer fewer heart attacks. Is fat okay? I guess so. I don't know. Chinese drink very little red wine and suffer fewer heart attacks than Americans, right? Italians drink excessive amounts of red wine, suffer fewer heart attacks than Americans. Germans drink a lot of beer and eat lots of sausages and fat and suffer fewer heart attacks than Americans. So what's the conclusion? You nailed it. Do not ever speak English again. This is a dangerous country to speak in. Now, I don't think the English have the same language we do, or they're Australians, so they're okay. So, let's think of obesity as an adipose tumor. Adipose is fat, okay? So, let's think of good nutrition as the chemotherapy, right? Now, why do I call that an adipose tumor? Because fat produces things called cytokines that are inflammatory mediators. They produce bad estrogen that are associated with breast cancer, uterine cancer, prostate cancer. All right, so if someone comes in, if you have a doctor who checks your estrogen, your estradiol, make sure they check your estrone, which is, high estrone is caused by oral estrogen. Don't ever take oral estrogen. Lowers growth hormone, raises your cravings for carbohydrates, raises your blood pressure, gives you headaches, makes you feel like CRAP. Switch. Estrogen should be taken as transdermal, patch, cream, something of that nature. There's different ways of taking progesterone that are great. If someone needs to sleep, the best form is in a pill. You know, I'm talking about bioidentical hormones here only. I've never given, I never will give a synthetic hormone to anybody because the estrogen from horses, called Premarin, has something like 35 different kinds of estrogen that are foreign to our bodies. Okay, the medroxyprogesterone that is synthetic causes breast cancer. You know, they stopped the Women's Health Initiative because not of the horse urine part of it, but of the medroxyprogesterone part. The horse urine was actually fairly safe, but it just caused a lot of misery for people. So let's check this out. This is hysterical to me. This is the old food pyramid guide, right? What's number one? I don't know if you can see this. It's kind of small. Bread, cereal, rice, pasta. 6 to 11 servings a day. What is that going to do? That's high glycemic foods, by the way. Okay, that turns to sugar. What's that going to do to our insulin? You're going to have insulin, high insulin all day, but in the meantime, God bless you. In the meantime, you're going to have high sugar, and then the insulin's going to jump up, and you're going to have hypoglycemia. What do you do when you feel hypoglycemia? What's that like for those of you that experienced it? Hungry. What else? Headache. Shaky. Panicky. What else? I want to kill somebody. No, I'm serious. Don't get in my face if I'm, going through this. So, then what's the next one? Fruit groups. 2 to 4 servings of fruit a day. What does that do? Same thing as the one underneath that. The vegetables are there, thank goodness, because that's real important. When we eat vegetables, most of them, obviously want to stay away from starchy stuff. How many people love carrots? High glycemic. How many people love carrot juice? Super high glycemic because all the fiber is gone, broken down. Then we get up to protein. Then what do we have? Fats, oils, used sparingly. I eat tons of fat, tons of it. What's great about fat? Fills you up. It hits the receptors in the hypothalamus that say I'm full. I can have, like 5 or 6 nuts and feel full. Half an avocado, I am stuffed. Lasts a long time. Okay? It creates satiety, which means you